stood on his own in Murrieta, California to hold back the DHS buses of the illegal immigrants being flooded into his neighborhood. Raymond Herrera, come on up here.
An American!
Hello, Texas. First, I want to start out with telling you that we are really related. My mom and her family comes from Texas. My great-grandfather came across the border legally in 1903, and there's 39 Palacios buried at Fort Bliss National Cemetery, and they're not immigrants. My name is Raymond Herrera, and I did the Murrieta blockade. I'm the mastermind. I'm the one that stopped the buses. And again, I'm related to Texas, Governor Perry at the time. Murrieta happened because of the Rio Grande Valley that was not sealed by the federal government. And it surely was not sealed by the government of Texas, the Republic of Texas. And this is my main battle that I battle for. I battle against Hispanics, Latinos, which are mythical, and I battle against Mexico, and I battle against the federal government and all levels of government across the United States that have committed treason against we, the people. When it comes to illegal aliens that stand on American soil, I'll have you know that there's 40 million of them, and when they procreate times 4, that's 160 million. That's over half of what we have today in less than 20 years. And I'm not going to allow it, and I'm going to tell you why I'm here. I'm here to to order Governor Abbott to seal that border, because if he doesn't, I will seal it. And I am calling on the people of Texas to stand with me, and let's go down and seal the border. Because one thing that I've learned in 12 years, the government will not do a thing until you stick it to them. And let me tell you how we can stick it to them. Texas wants to succeed from the Union. I want to seal that border. Why don't we do both? Why don't we create an international crisis that will bring the federal government and bring Mexico to their knees? And I'm talking about if we have to lock and load to seal that border and stop those mythical Hispanics from coming across and telling you that they're Americans, let's do it today. Because I am an American warrior. I quit high school to fight for the American creed and the American flag, and I'll be damned if I'm going to let some 2-bit Mexican cross that border and take my country away from me. Our fathers are World War II veterans, the greatest generation of Americans that were ever born, that the world and America will ever witness. It was when the ocean, the sand, and the land turned red with the blood of our fathers that we stood as Americans. We didn't stand as a nation of immigrants fighting for immigrants. We were fighting for America. We were fighting for the American creed and our American families. And I don't believe in skin color. The color of my skin is American from the cradle to the grave. I am an American creeded patriot. And what do I mean by American creeded? These are the core values. It's central to our national identity. And the way I see the issue today, there's 3 major components of the American creed that are violated this day. The first one is equality of condition, because it is politically incorrect, according to your government, that we, the people, are equal to illegal aliens. They subvert our laws that are meant to protect the American people, protect your children from demise. Obama, Bush, Clinton, all these presidents have betrayed you. And I'm sick and tired of the talk. I say, we lock and load. What are you waiting on? That's the one message that I sent in Murrieta, was show your American spine. Another message was Breitbart. America, stand your ground. I live and I will die by those words. I will not cower from the federal government or any state government, county or city government. A Hispanic Latino is nothing more than an illegal alien tribe put here by our government to destroy American exceptionalism. They're mythical. You won't even find Latinos or Hispanics in Mexico. They're Mexican. But when they come over here, because of your government that's made them into a political tribe, they're Latinos and Hispanics. I don't care about the people of Mexico. I got to tell you, the greatest insult to me came just the other day when Donald Trump went down to Mexico to speak with that stupid, whatever you want to call it, bean-eating, taco-bending president. He mentioned, here's the thing that's been said by Mexico, President of Mexico and President Nieto, and I'll take them to the grave. They're going around telling the American people that Mexicans have contributed to our culture and our society, and that they have fought in our wars. And then they'll go on to say that first generation, second generation, third generation, fourth generation Mexicans walk among us. I can tell you, there isn't anything Mexican about me except these Levi's that are made in Mexico. And I'm going to tell you another thing. It's going to be the first, second, third, fourth generation led by me that's going to destroy Mexico. Because I believe that's why we left that failed state. They hang their naked mothers beheaded from the bridges of Mexico. They send their drugs to addict your sons and my sons. They send their people to displace the American people in the work sector. And now they're telling you that this was Mexico long ago. This is not Mexico. This is Raymond's country. This is your country. This country belongs to the American people. We the people. And if you want our country, you're going to die. The first time I was ever on Hispanic media came from a city council meeting. I'm going to tell you what I told them, and I mean every word that I'm telling you right now. And I'm going to tell you one other thing. It set the Hispanic world on end. I was at a city council meeting in Costa Mesa, and they wanted somebody to speak Spanish to be on media. So, Lord and behold, they picked the wrong guy. They picked me, and they drove me like 60 miles to Burbank, right outside of Jay Leno's studios, right? And I was holding a picture of the Beast. Does everybody know what the Beast is? Okay, well, back in that day, you couldn't even see the train tracks. Okay, so I held that picture here, and I said, I want to speak to the people of Mexico. And I did. I said, remember the town of San Antonio. Remember the Battle of the Alamo. And you remember the names Davy Crockett, Jim Bowie, Colonel Travis. And I paused. And I said to him right into the camera, be careful, Mexico. Your blood will run again. We, the people, are armed. We are the government, and we stand before you. President Bush is no longer the president of the United States. Those words made me a star in Hispanic media for the next 10, 11 years. I was on the Christina show and jacked her ratings up in one night, 38 points. Why? Because these people always come to Raymond and they go, Raymond, you're one of us. And I go, no, I'm not. You know, I'm an American. And in fact, right before I went on stage with Christina, the producer was doing this to me. And right behind the curtain, she goes, I have 3 questions to ask you, Raymond. And I go, go ahead. She goes, why do you fight for the Anglos so much? I go, they're my American brothers and sisters. She goes, Raymond, you know they're going to kill you. And I told her, true, but they'll only kill Raymond once, unlike the cowardly people of Mexico that die 1,000,000 times daily standing on American soil for the cowards that they are. And the third question was, when will you stop berating the Mexican people? And that's been 12 years ago, and I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop until I'm all the way down into Acapulco or wherever their capital's at, and I bury the sword of we the people deep into the government of Mexico, and I'll tell you why. Nieto knows what he's doing. The Mexican people know what they're doing. They're invading your America, your Commonwealth. They're invading and threatening the posterity of your American children, our American children, for future generations of yet to be born Americans. And we cannot, and I will not, allow you to let this happen. Mexico, You have your own country. You have your own people. You better take them back, because Raymond, right now, is right on the verge of revolution. November's election, let me tell you what's going to happen. If Trump wins, they go off. Hillary wins, the American people go off. Nobody's going to be happy, and certainly, for sure, not Raymond, until America's torch is nestled in your hands, America. When we, the people, stand united, we will take this country back from the federal government and all levels of government, but mostly from Mexico. And one other thing I'm going to say about the border surge, because the wrong message went out. Raymond drew the line in the sand against the tyranny and the treason of Barack Obama. But I want to tell you something, that the message was skewed. And they talked about disease and children with diseases. I could care less about anybody's children but ours. But when that Mexican president was there, he had his own camera set up for him to view Murrieta. Okay, so I took down, and I had the help of some American patriots, but I took down President Barack Obama, knowing full well. I took down Homeland Security. I took down the Border Patrol. I took down the Murrieta Police. And I took down President Nieto. Want to know why? Because once I set the blockade, I peeled away from the blockade, and I walked over to his camera. And I got to tell you, Hispanic media loves me. What they did was they focused his camera right on Raymond Herrera. And I went on to tell him with my blowhorn how much of a vavoso he really is. I berated him in every which way that any man can berate another man. And I told him that if he did not release Sergeant Temeresi, that we, the people, will be knocking his door down. Not knocking on it, knocking his door down. And I'm telling you, America, if you want to continue another 12 years as I have done, I've been beat up, I've been run over, I have over 500 death threats. I can't be seen with my children because they come after them. I'm photographed and I'm eating in restaurants. If you want to do 12 more years of that, then go right ahead. But I say that the day of talk is ended. And when I stand before these veterans over here and the ones that are over here, I feel very emboldened, because I could walk into the jungles with any one of these men, and I know that we're going to walk out. Why? Because we're going to lock and load the American way. And with that, I want to tell you the question that's always been asked of Raymond, and I want you to remember what I'm going to tell you. This question is asked by Mexicans, Hispanic media, by the American people. Who are you? And I simply tell them, we are moms and dads. We are aunts and uncles. We are grandmothers. We are grandfathers. We are born of the American creed. We are black, red, white, and blue. We are the defenders of the American creed. For we are the defenders of America from the cradle to the grave. And thank you, and God bless.